Hi, welcome to your first Plar assessment. If you've been asked to do the social studies assessment, 1, 2, or 3, this little video will help you with that. First of all, to go in and find your Plar course, go into the waffle, choose ADS Plar, and once you're in there, I'm just going in as a student. You'll see some information about Plar in general on your home screen, telling you the hours of the Plar assessors and when you can phone in. Note that Plar assessors are not available by email, so if you wish to contact us, you need to follow the instructions here on the home page. To find your assessments, go into Content. And the first one we're looking at is Social Studies. Let's choose Assessment 1. And these are a series, there's a few little quizzes to do that are self-correcting for the most part. And from these, you will go ahead with your social studies assessment. One thing that is interesting is if you click on this little square with the arrow here, that will open your assessment up into a new tab and give you a bigger screen to read from. So that's what I've done. The first thing we're going to do in Assessment 1 is you're going to download an online textbook called Discover Canada that will help you with the questions. So I've done that, and that's open now in the background here. So I can switch back and forth between the tabs up at the front. So I'm going back to Assessment 1. And what is going to happen here with Task 1 is use page 45 of this Discover Canada to identify the provinces of Canada, the provinces and territories. And I'm going to do that in a little quiz. So I'm going to open this quiz. And mine looks a little bit different because I've been into this quiz before, but you just follow the instructions on your screen. Yours will say Start Quiz. Mine is Continue Quiz. And once you're in there, you'll see questions with numbers beside them, and you're just putting the proper number with the proper province. So if I'm going back to my Discover Canada, it's told me to go to page 45, which I can find fairly quickly down in the right corner. And there's our provinces. So when I go back to my quiz, I will see, for example, that Manitoba, when I look here, is right there. So Manitoba right beside this big one, which is Ontario. And I look there, so it's number 7. So I'm just choosing number 7 and going like that, going through all the provinces. When I finish those, there are then some questions that I'm going to type in my answers. So what city is the nation capital? I'm going to write my answer in the box, which you can also find in Discover Canada or just by doing a Google search. And when I am finished, I'm going to choose Submit Quiz down at the bottom, but make sure that you're finished because once it's submitted, you can't get it back. So I'm not going to submit that right now because mine is not finished. But once you're done, submit your quiz, then you can go back into your home page. And as I scroll down, I'll now find task number 2. You're going to have some more questions from Discover Canada, and you're going to visit this quiz for task 2. And again, yours will say to start quiz, mine is continue. And from here, again, we're going to use Discover Canada. And now it's telling me certain pieces of information I need to look up, all about Canadian history. So for example, question 1, I'm going to go to page 8 of my Discover Canada, find the proper answer, click on the answer, and then continue on all the way down through until I have completed all 21 questions. And then again, I'm going to submit the quiz, and my first assessment is finished. Once your first assessment is finished, if you wish to continue on, you can go back out to your front page of your social studies assessment, choose assessment 2, and continue. This one is about the Canadian economy. You don't need the online textbook for this one. You're just reading information on the screen, choosing the right quiz, and going from there. So task 1 is another little quiz that you can do. Once that's finished, come back. Task 2 is a little bit different. In task 2, you're going to read a little article here on the screen to do with the Olympics and whether Canada should host the Olympics. This is something where you have to write a paragraph, so it's not in quiz form. Once you have read the material below, you're going to write your answer to the question here as to whether should Canada bid to host the Olympic Games. You're going to click Access to the drop box. The question is repeated right here, and you're just going to type your answer right in this little box, and when it's finished, submit. And that's it. You're finished assessment 2, and you're all set to go. If you have chosen or been given assessment 3 for social studies, it's a little bit different. And to access it, we click on assessment 3. I'm going to bring it up to the bigger screen. And this is using my blueprint, which is kind of a fun activity that will help you to find areas you may be interested in pursuing in college or for a career. And for this, you're just following the instructions on the screen. And again, you're going into the little drop box and writing your answer right in there. That's it for the social studies, the first assessment, 1, 2, and 3. Once they're completed, if you have another assessment to go on to, you can go on to another assessment. And if that's it, you're finished. Thank you.